Borthakur IAS Academy, an endeavor of excellence.
Borthakur IAS Academy.
Hello everyone, a warm welcome to Borthakur's IAS Academy, Northeast's premier institute for UPSC, APSC and NPSC preparations. I'm your friend Atreyi, and today I'm here with another segment of Current Affairs 365 dated 20th of May 2021. Please don't forget to like and share this video and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Facebook as well as Instagram for any further updates related to civil services examination and also all the other government related examinations. So let's get started with today's news. So the first news of the day is about single-use plastics. This particular topic will be covered under biodiversity and environment. And here in this news, we will also see some of the government policies and interventions which has been implemented for reduction of plastics. This topic is currently in news because recently a report was published and by a non-profit organization based in Australia, along with the academics of University of Oxford and Stockholm Environment Institute. This particular report gave a detail on how who makes the most use of single-use plastics, okay, and which countries are making money out of it. So the major producers includes 20 big companies of the world, okay, and 2 US companies followed by the Chinese-owned petrochemicals giant. They are included in the production of single-use plastics. Mainly they are engaged in production of single-use plastics, and the major investors, they are mostly financed, the production is mostly financed by the service companies, which includes banks, and also governments are a big stakeholder in this industry. Now, what is single-use plastic? Okay, these plastics, we all know single-use plastics are also known as the disposable plastics, which are only used once before they are thrown or recycled. And these items, it includes plastic bags, straws, coffee stirrers, then soda and water bottles, and most other food packagings, right? Plastic is cheap and convenient. That is why it has replaced all other materials from the packaging industry. But at the same time, it takes hundreds of years for plastic to disintegrate, right? And this is the main problem. So these are the main problems which are related to single-use plastics. Firstly, these are non-biodegradable, okay, and they usually goes into the landfills where they are buried, or they gets into the water and finally finds a way into the ocean. So they pollute not just the land but also the water resources of our planet. And while they break down, it releases some toxic chemicals which were like additives that were used to provide them shape or to harden the plastic, and this makes their way into our food and water supply. So we need to stop the use of these single-use plastics. We should limit the uses of such disposable plastics, right? The global and national initiatives in this particular section, it includes that the European Union, it has issued a directive for and has called the consumer brands to use at least 30% recycled content in the plastic bottles by the year 2025. And when it comes to the Indian initiatives, in the year 2019, the Union government, it has emphasized on free India to single-use plastics by 2020, which has laid out a multi-ministerial plan which will discourage the use of single-use plastics across our entire nation. And also the plastic management rules of the year 2016, which extended the responsibility to collect waste that were generated from any product, okay, to their producers and the brand owners. So these are the collective initiatives which are taken globally as well as nationally. Now, why this single-use plastic is creating so much of concern? Because not just because it is it takes a longer amount of time to degrade, but the main problem is less recycling. Only about 8% of the plastic, it gets recycled in the US, whereas United States is one of the highest consumer of this disposable plastics, right? It is far cheaper to make things out of newly produced plastics than from the recycled plastic, and that is the reason why not a good percentage of the used plastics, it doesn't get recycled, right? And also the state and municipal governments, they have they have had certain success in banning some of the items, but the efforts which are focused on curtailing the production of these disposable plastics, they have been limited so far. And also the advocacy efforts to persuade consumers in order to use less plastics, they have also failed to gain the public public attention. So in order to limit our uses of disposable or single-use plastics, we'll have to opt for economically affordable and also economically viable alternatives. These must be used, and when we will start using such alternatives, their prices will also come down with time and increase in their demands. We need to promote alternatives like cotton, khadi bags and the other biodegradable plastics. More and more research and development work is needed here in this sector, and also finances for it is important, which will look for any other sustainably viable options. And also the citizens, okay, they have to bring in behavioral changes and contribute on their part by not littering here and there and helping in waste management and segregation. The next news is infrastructure status for convention centers. This particular news is important from Indian economy and will be tagged under the GS paper 3, okay? And the finance ministry, it has recently granted infrastructure status for exhibition and convention centers. In the year 2020, government added affordable rental housing projects to the list of sectors which are recognized as infrastructure. Now, what is the need for this infrastructure status? First of all, India does not have any large convention centers or a single hall-like infrastructure with the capacity to hold around 7,000 to 10,000 people, unlike countries like Thailand, which is a major global MICE destination. What is MICE? It is the Meetings, Incentives, Conference and Exhibitions destination. So if India has certain infrastructure, okay, which helps in becoming a MICE destination, then it can generate significant revenue with several global companies which are already active in our country, okay? And this exhibition convention center, it has been included in the harmonized master list of infrastructure subsector. Now, what is this harmonized master list of infrastructure subsector? It is a list which is notified by the Ministry of Finance, and it includes certain categories. So these categories are transport and logistics, energy, water and sanitation, communication and social and commercial infrastructure, okay? And inclusion in this list, it implies that the nation will get access to concessional funds, promotion of projects and continuity of construction for the specified subsectors, right? So this way it is going to boost the economy of our country, which will also help in economic recovery after the pandemic situation, right? So this is a positive step towards boosting our economy. The third news of the day is about the Pradhanmantri Swasthya Yojna. This is a government scheme which was launched in the year 2003, okay? And the nodal ministry of this particular scheme is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The two main components of this scheme includes setting up of AIIMS-like institutions and also upgradation of the government medical colleges in various states of our country. The project cost for upgrading each medical college and institution, it is beared by the center as well as the state. And so far, around 22 new regional AIIMS has been approved. Setting up of 22 regional AIIMS has been approved under this scheme. There are some other initiatives also which are related to the healthcare sector, and for any government exam based on organized by the health department, there you can get some questions which are related to these schemes, okay? So they are the Pradhanmantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi. It is a single non-lapsable reserve fund for health from the proceeds of the health and education cess. Then another one is the Pradhanmantri Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat scheme. This was announced under the Union Budget of 21-22, which is important for this year's exams, okay? Then we have the National Digital Health Mission, which has 4 key features like the Health ID, Personal Health Records, DigiDoctor, and the Health Facility Registry. You all have also heard of the Ayushman Bharat scheme, right? It has 2 approach. First is creation of health and wellness centers to bring healthcare closer to the homes, okay? And second approach is formulation of a Pradhanmantri Jan Arogya Yojna. This mainly aims at protecting the poor and vulnerable families against the financial risk which rises due to some catastrophic health episodes. Other initiatives includes National Health Policy of 2017, Pradhanmantri Bharatiya Janaushadhi Pariyojna, and the National Health Mission, which was launched by the Government of India in the year 2013. The next news is regarding weathering of oldest rock paintings due to climate change. Researchers, they have written an open access journal which was published by the Nature Research, and there they have reported that the Pleistocene era rock paintings dating back to around 45,000 to 20,000 years ago in the cave sites of Indonesian islands of the Sulawesi, okay, they are weathering at an alarming rate. So now let us see where is Sulawesi and how is it so significant when it comes to human history, okay. Sulawesi is one of the largest island in Wallacea, a biogeographically distinct zone of oceanic islands which are situated between the continents of Asia and Australia. And this area has a long history of human occupation, and the findings, it comprise of in situ stone artifacts which are associated with fossils of extinct terrestrial megafauna. So the significance of these cave paintings, it includes world's oldest hand stencils, okay, which were created by pressing the hand on a cave wall and then spraying wet red mulberry pigments over it. Another cave which is just nearby, it has the depiction of an animal which is world's oldest, that is a warty pig, painted on the wall around 45,500 years ago. And the cave art of this area, Sulawesi, it is much older than the prehistoric cave art of Europe. This study, okay, as the researchers have found, they have studied that the flakes of the rocks in the rock paintings, they have begun to detach from the cave surfaces, and these artworks which are made with the pigments, okay, it was getting damaged because of haloclasty. Haloclasty is a process of growing of salt crystals due to repeated changes in temperature and humidity. Also, alternating wet and dry weather in the region is another cause of the weathering, okay. And Indonesia has also experienced several natural disasters in the recent years which have resulted in a fast process of deterioration of these oldest rock paintings. The next news is regarding the Colombo port city, which is a Chinese funded tax-free infrastructure in Sri Lanka, and it recently got the go-ahead sanction from the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka. This particular city, okay, this particular investment by China is among the other major infrastructure projects of China in Sri Lanka. This port city, it is going to attract many banking and offshore services which are similar to those which are available in Dubai and Singapore, and all the transactions within the port city, they will be denominated in foreign currency, and also the salaries which will be given to the workers there, they will be tax exempted. This particular project is like India has certain concern over this project because of its proximity to the Indian coastline. Here in the next slide, you can have a look at the project, okay. This is Sri Lanka, here it is India, and here is the Colombo port city. So this was all for today. I hope you liked this video. Please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll see you all again tomorrow with another session of Current Affairs 365 only at Borthakur's IAS Academy, Northeast's premier institute for UPSC, APSC and NPSC preparations. Till then, take care, keep learning. Bye-bye.
Borthakur IAS Academy. প্ৰস্তুতি আৰু অধ্যয়নৰ নিৰ্ভৰযোগ্য ঠিকনা
Borthakur IAS Academy.